Only one man knew what had happened to him, and that was me. For with my own eyes, I saw the skipper tip his heels and put him over the rail in the middle watch of a dark night, 2 days before we sighted the Shetland lights. But I kept my knowledge to myself, and I waited to see what would come of it. When we got back to Scotland, it was easily hushed up, and nobody asked questions. A stranger died by accident, and it was nobody's business to inquire. Shortly after, Peter Carey gave up the sea, and it was long years before I could find where he was. I guess he had done the deed for the sake of what was in that tin box, and that he could afford now to pay me well for keeping my mouth shut. Found out where he was through the sailor man that had met him in London, and down I went to squeeze him. The first night he was reasonable enough, and was ready to give me what would make me free of the sea for life. I found him 3 pots drunk, and in a vile temper. We sat down and we drank, and we yarned about old times, but the more he drank, the less I liked the look in his face. I spotted that harpoon on a wall, and I thought I might need it before I was through. Then at last he broke out at me, spitting and cursing with murder in his eyes, and a great clasp knife in his hand. He had not time to get it from the sheath before I had the harpoon through him. Heavens, what a yell he gave! His face gets between me and my sleep. I stood there with his blood splashing round me, and I waited for a bit, but all was quiet. So I took heart once more, and I looked round, and there was a tin box on the shelf. I had as much a right to it as Peter Carey anyhow, so I took it with me, and I left the hut like a fool. I left my barky pouch on the table. I'll tell you the queerest part of the whole story. I had hardly got outside the hut when I heard something coming, and I hid among the bushes. A man came slinking along and went into the hut, gave a cry as if he'd seen a ghost, and legged it as hard as he could until he was out of sight. Who he was, or what he wanted, is more than I can tell. For my part, I walked 10 miles, and I got a train at Tunbridge Wells, and so reached London, and no one the wiser. Well, when I came to examine the box, I found there was no money in it, nothing but papers, that I would not dare sell. I lost my hold on Black Peter, and was stranded in London without a shilling. There was only my trade left, and I saw these advertisements about harpooners and high wages, so I went to the shipping agents, and they sent me here.